It's your daily dose of Donna. Welcome to the show. Today is Wednesday, October 29th. How is everyone doing today? I'm just looking at myself for the first time this morning and I'm looking washed out. I got to blush it up today or something. Wake up, Donna. Wake up. It's hump day. We got to hump our way through today. How is everyone doing? How are we doing? It's a gorgeous day, a hot day, a very, very warm day here in Los Angeles. Always the week of Halloween. Doesn't make any sense. We're in a heat wave on Halloween week, but it's okay. We can get through it. We can make it work. I am dressed for the occasion in my little halter top. I actually have a quick morning today. We got to get through this show and then I got to book it through LA. Got to drive all the way over to Culver City because I'm appearing in person for Chef Stu, Hottie Stu, on his 100th episode. So I'm very proud of him, very excited for him. I'm going to be appearing live with Zachy and Zach and Stu. And we'll be talking all about Real Houses of Salt Lake City. I'll touch on that. Oh my gosh, today we'll talk about so many things. We have to talk about Dancing with the Stars, the drama around that. We'll talk about Andy Cohen, call her daddy. I'll talk a little bit about Britney Spears and all the heat I'm getting. Oh my God, the heat I'm getting. It is like someone get out some hot sauce because it is hot in here. Literally the amount of anger and hate that I am getting about Britney Spears. It's as if I am coming at her with pitchforks. The divided community around Lauren Mathias is still coming at me, but I think I've figured it all out. We have an influencer who's been caught red-handed for copying her wedding speech, and she tends to be someone that copies people's clothing. It is a huge scandal in the TikTok community. We have a Cheryl Hines story that I don't want to get political, but it is a political story. It's not about politics, but it's about her stance in Hollywood, and all her Hollywood friends are just freaking out over it. And I wonder if this is something that is like shocking. We'll get into all of that. I love you guys. Let's talk about it all. Molly's here. I got all my favorite. Christina was fighting in the comments for me. We're all fighting in the comments for each other. We got each other's back, you guys. Everyone, make sure to hit subscribe and like. It is your daily dose of Donna. Oh my God. I saw a clip this morning of Katy Perry on Twitter. Did you guys see this clip? I don't know. I thought it was old, but apparently it's not old. And maybe it is old. I don't know. But let me ask, actually, this may be a poll moment. This may be a moment for the polls. Let me ask you guys in the polls. Are we a fan of Katy Perry these days? It has nothing to do with her dating life. It just has to do with Katy Perry just in general, okay? Are we hot or not for Katy Perry? And I'm not asking you, Micah. You're hot for every woman. But I'm just wondering, in general, are we hot or not for Katy Perry? Let me get my episode up here. I'm going to pull it up. Start a poll. Are you hot or... It'd be nice if I could type. Are you hot or not for Katy Perry? Hot, not. Start poll. You guys let me know. Yes, she is dating Justin Trudeau. We don't need to get into that. I mean, look, she's pretty insufferable. I'm not a huge fan of his, so it's like it kind of works. Like, let them be happy. Although I could have sworn he was Owen Wilson. Did anyone else think? Does he look like Owen Wilson to you too? He does. Okay, a lot of you guys right now we're at 88%. 88% as of right now. It doesn't. Okay, we only have 30 votes though. Let's get some more votes in there. Lots of you guys are just silent watchers. So make sure to, I love how Molly's just like not. Well, I thought this was kind of an interesting little clip that I saw. She was backstage with her show, and this was her 40th birthday. So I actually don't even know when this was, but I thought this was like so typical of Katy Perry. I actually saw it on X first. And someone said, "This is my mom. My mom actually baked this cake." It says Katy Perry is blasted for destroying her 40th birthday cake as dancers eat it off the floor. It's cringe AF, is what the article says. Katy Perry is blasted online for destroying her 40th birthday cake, which her backup dancers ended up eating off the floor. The pop star celebrated the milestone backstage following a recent stop on her ongoing Lifetimes tour. She was still dressed in costume from the show. She was filmed surrounding her crew members as she blew out the candles on the large sheet cake. She then picked up the cake and tried to chuck it at a suit-clad man wearing a headset, but she missed and it ended up on the floor. So here's this big cake. And by the way, you guys, just a little side note about me. I love cake. I'm a cake fan. I don't know about you guys, but cake is one of my things, like, especially if it's from Costco. I understand that this was probably a homemade cake. I am a cake girl. I'm the kind of person that when I go to a birthday party, and even if I don't feel like cake, I'm always taking a little plate of cake to go so that I can eat it for myself a little bit later when I'm home. And oh, Jules says she has local tea for me later. Oh, that's about Karen Reed trial. You text me or message me that later. Um, so anyway, she decides that she doesn't want this cake for herself, but she also doesn't want it for all of these beautiful dancers behind her that have worked so hard and are dancing. And so she laughed as a few of the dancers approached the demolished dessert that was on the floor. And this ex-user, who claims, perhaps somewhat sarcastically, that her mother baked the cake, posted the video and criticized Perry for the behavior. And this is the ex-user, Catherine Jane. Also actually kind of wasn't sure if this was real or not. Um, to be honest, 100%, like, I actually think that it wasn't really her mom's cake, which is why I didn't share it, but here's the video. Let's watch it. She's Katy Perry just bugs, guys. I'm sorry. She just does. Wait, is there not volume? Maybe there's no volume to this? Number 1, the fact that she was gonna throw it at a man is so effed, even if it was a joke. And number 2, like, now that cake is on the floor. Okay. So that's that. Good job, Katy. Good job. Not a fan. Not a fan. Someone else that kind of bugged last night. So the Dodgers played their game 4 of the World Series. Speaking of Canada, we were just in Trudeau land. Toronto Blue Jays. Sorry. Toronto Blue Jays were on game 4. Game 5 is tonight. My friend, my co-host of my other podcast, Adam, is going, so he's excited. Game 4. Okay, ending the poll. We are officially 90% not hot for Katy Perry. So Blue Jays won last night, and it could be because of their playing, and it could also be because of, my guess is because of Harry and Meghan. I hate to do it. I don't really want to blame everything on them, but of course Harry and Meghan were there. Now, look, it makes sense that you go to the Dodger game. It's the World Series. They live 2 hours out of LA. Like, it kind of does make sense that you would go. But why do they have to go? They're not Dodger fans. Let's be real. When was the last time Meghan Markle watched a Dodger game? Look, she did grow up here in LA. So it's very possible that she did grow up here in LA and she is a Dodger fan. But people were not happy about it. Okay. People were not happy about it. Apparently they booed. And then I saw another article, and let me see if I can find it really fast, that fans were actually really upset because they sat in the front row in front of like hardcore fans. And here's the article. And I love how it's like Dodger fans are furious. Look, I don't make these headlines. Okay. I don't make these headlines. This is the article's headlines. LA Dodger fans are furious as Harry and Meghan get royal treatment at World Series over local legends. So they were sitting in the front row. In front of them, the Fox TV cameras are regularly zooming in on them as they enjoyed the actions, but they were in front of Magic Johnson, my man Magic. I've told you guys stories about me and Magic, right? We're friends. Not currently anymore, but we were friends. We used to work out together. We used to do our kickboxing together at Billy Blank's brother's studio in North Hollywood. He gave me box seats to go use at Staples Center when I had little Dylan and I was pregnant. And Sandy Koufax were relegated to the second row. See, this is my sports section every day. Where are my sports fans? Okay. Johnson is part owner of the team. Koufax is a 4-time World Series winner and Hall of Fame pitcher, but it was Harry and Meghan were instead given the royal treatment. On social media, one fan wrote, Prince Harry and his wife sitting in front of Sandy Koufax. Uneffing real. Listen, I don't care about this. And by the way, it's not like they pushed and shoved their way to the front row. They were given these tickets. It's not like they said, we will not go unless we were This is not a fashion show. Okay. Sandy Koufax probably had those seats in the second row for 30 years. I'm guessing. I have no idea. But this is probably not something where they said, if we don't get in the front row, we are not going. This was probably someone's gifted, the owner of the Dodgers or owner of Dodger Stadium or whatever was like, please come as you should, like join, sit here. We have the tickets. Like, I kind of feel bad that they are getting all the hate, but of course the Dodgers did lose. So this is probably not really great for them that they went. Justin Bieber was at the game the night before with Haley. And he posted actually a really cute picture. I saw it on X saying, my forever date forever, something like that. But he's a Blue Jays fan. He's a Canadian. People are not happy about Harry and Meghan being in the front row. That's Magic Johnson's wife behind them. One of these days, I want to be back there and just have a picture of like RBF in the back, I wonder who else we can recognize in these big VIP seats. I don't recognize anyone. Like, who's this girl? Who's that guy? I want to know. Can you guys see my mouse here? I want to know who that guy is right there. Like, I'm dying to know who he is and what he's thinking. He's like, no, damn you. Damn you, Harry and Meghan. I could have had those seats. That's what I think. All right. Well, in case you were wondering, James Marsden, Austin Butler, Tobey Maguire were also there. Sydney Sweeney was shown on Fox shortly, I guess, and she sparked a liberal meltdown. What? With her starring role in the pregame introduction video? I didn't even know anything about this. What is this? Has she sparked a liberal meltdown? Is this still happening? Is Sydney Sweeney still sparking liberal meltdowns? That's insane. Okay. So that is that. Cool. Good times. Liberal or literal meltdown. All right. Let's keep moving on and let's talk about Dancing with the Stars, okay? Dun 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 dun. Dancing with the Stars. You guys, there was so much drama behind the scenes this week. Now, I am lucky because I know about all the drama, but I can't share it with you because I have a husband who will get fired if I share it with you. But now that it aired, I can share it with you because I knew that Elaine went to the hospital yesterday. And I was like, she can't perform. And unfortunately, I can't share it with you. But now you guys got to see it all. So yesterday, number one, Dylan Ephron broke his nose, which was wild because he broke his nose. And like I was texting with Molly is my sideline here. Okay, Molly gets it. His nose, it was so weird. It's like, number one, I expected it to be a Marsha Brady. Remember? My nose. The football situation where he would have two black eyes. it was weird. It's like his nose was perfect, minus like, where's a nose on my desk? Do I have anything that can be a nose? Like it was just like, meh. It was like this. Meh. He broke his nose. Apparently, that's what all the doctors said. That's what the x-ray said. But it was like, it was just basically like his nose was like here. And it really did kind of mess up his face a little bit if you look at the interviews. And he has perma smiled, Dylan Efron. He's like, it's okay. Everything's fine. I just broke my nose. The more I see Dylan Efron, and here are my thoughts, honestly, about Dylan Efron. Sweet guy. Bless his heart. So sweet. I'm not talking about his personality in real life. I'm just talking about like his energy on the show. So kind, so sweet. Depth. Looking. Where are you? Like, I don't really fully see anything but just like you know what I mean? Just nice. Just nice. Enrique, I agree. I agree with you. Just nice. Then, okay, so he broke his nose, but he was still able to perform. I don't want to go couple to couple, do I? Okay, well, I'll just want to get into the drama of Dancing with the Stars. This is what I want to get into. So Whitney performs. What I'm going to do is I'm going to just show you Instagram pictures because unfortunately I can't show you I can't show you I can show you dances, but I can't show you the music, obviously. So obviously we have, amazing. It's a Halloween night and we have amazing performances. Oh my God, I just saw Scott. Remember Scott who got eliminated? Rolf from Sound of Music. And I just got anxiety. Like really, truly happy that that's over. Sorry. It's just my honest feelings. And I can never not be honest with you guys. I'm an open book. So Whitney, I have to say, Whitney is a phenomenal. She opened the show. You cannot deny that Whitney Levitt is the star of this show. And if you deny it, then you have, I think, in my opinion, you have an issue with her specifically because she may have been unlikable on Mormon Wives. You may have had issues with her. You may have not liked her. You may have not liked Mark Ballas. Whatever. She is the best dancer on the show. No question, in my opinion. She is an amazing dancer before the show. She has the best stage presence. Like this girl will end up on Broadway. There's no question. I don't know if she can sing. Can she? Do we know if she can sing? But she is a star through and through. Do you guys agree? She is to me, best overall performer. She's pretty. She is a performer. She has a personality. She has an energy. She's likable. And I think this is what I think about the show. It comes down to likability. And that's why I think we have the eliminations that we have on this week. So Whitney to me was everything yesterday. I mean, I can't look at those eyes. Can we please take the eyes off? We must remove the eyes. I don't like Halloween. Have I told you guys this? Halloween costumes are not for me. If I could cancel any holiday for the entire year, it would be Halloween. I know kids like it. Get me away from costumes and get me away from eyeballs like this. This is truly terrifying. I can't take anyone seriously when they're looking at me and they have eyes like this. This may be, Christina wants a divorce. This could possibly be the reason why I get unfollows and unsubscribes. And that's okay. I still do it. I'm still dressing up this year. I'm still taking my kids on Friday. Like we're doing it. I don't love it. I can't wait for the day when I can just lay in my pajamas and turn off all my lights and be the grumpy old couple on the block. Okay? I don't mind Halloween. I just don't like the costume aspect. I will give the candy. I like drinking the wine. I like watching Hocus Pocus. I just don't like the glitter and the makeup. And the money. It's so much money. Back to Whitney. This looks like from far away, it looks like one big leg. Whitney's one big leg. So she did great. I don't even remember the judges' scores, but they love her. The judges are obsessed with Whitney and Mark. Okay? No question. Then we have Jordan and Ezra. I don't want to say anything negative. I have nothing negative about Jordan. I think she's amazing. I think she's strong. I think she's a phenomenal dancer. They aren't, to me, like the standout couple of the show. And I don't know if that's her fault or if it's Ezra's show. Ezra, to me, is not, he's confusing to me as a pro. They're good. They're strong. She's strong. But the dance was cool. It was definitely really like mechanical, and like there was like ropes and bondage, and of course she's a gymnast. So it was really, really cool. The pictures are amazing. I mean, look at this. The strength that you need to do this. Don't look at the comments because the comments are insane. The fans on all these shows are psychotic. And this is where we have some serious issues where we'll get into the drama in just a moment. Okay. Next we have Andy. Now, this is where we get a little drama in the comments, but I love Andy and Emma. I'm sorry. They're the heart of the show. I can't get enough. We'll talk about it in just a moment. He was a preacher, a pastor, something like that. He's very dramatic. He's an actor, and that's them dancing. And he puts a smile on my face. I can't help it, you guys. I just can't help it. What did you say about... Oh, she would love West Hollywood. I thought you meant Ezra would love West Hollywood. And I was like, you're right. Now, then we have Elaine. And this is where I'm a little confused. Not confused. This is where things got a little tricky. So Elaine yesterday, I find out earlier in the day that she is not at practice and she had to go in an ambulance to the hospital. But the crew didn't exactly know what happened. So I guess during rehearsal, it wasn't even dress rehearsal. It was like camera rehearsal, tech rehearsal. She's dancing. Something gets twisted in a rib and it really, really hurts her. And she's really in pain. Like, I don't know exactly what happened. I don't even know if they were able to like diagnose it, but it was a rib, maybe I don't know, like a muscle or something. She couldn't move. She was in so much pain that they took her to the hospital. She couldn't perform. I don't think this has ever happened on Dancing with the Stars. So what they judged was her tech rehearsal, where she's not in makeup. She's not in dress. She had no idea they were going to judge this performance. So she's not even giving it her full 100%. She's not doing her face, like nothing. And to think that you go an entire week, you work your ass off to choreograph and perform, and then you're not even able to be given that final scoring is pretty insane. And she still did a pretty good job, I have to say. And she was not my favorite at all at the beginning of the show. And now she kind of grew on me. She's kind of grown on me. She's still not my favorite, but she's grown on me. Alan, bless his heart. Her partner, he's so sweet. And Alan and Andy's partner Emma are together. So that's like a cute little couple. Now we have Topanga, Danielle Fishel. And I've given you my honest feelings, even though Lance would leave me in a heartbeat for Topanga. He would. He loves Topanga. Topanga's his hall pass. And it's weird. He works with his hall pass. But he loves her. And I like her too. But her likability for me has gone down. And that's just my honest feeling. I love her. But every week I like her less. And I don't know what that is. I don't know why. Like, I liked her so much more before at the beginning of the show. And every week I feel like I don't know if she's too in her head. I don't know what it is that she's giving me, but it's not giving me likability. And that's where I'm struggling. So she did this dance and I mean, it was fine. Honestly, that's all I can say. It was just fine. Do you guys feel the same way? Get out of here, search. Okay. Now, what is this? Oh, I don't need this little video thing. Then we have Robert and Whitney. Of course, Robert and Whitney kill it every time. Come on. They are so beyond. Not only is Robert amazing, but Whitney Carson. I have a girl crush on Whitney Carson. I think she's my hall pass if I had to choose one. I am obsessed with Whitney Carson. Obsessed. I don't know what this video is. Then we have Jen and Jan. Okay. which I'll get to in just a moment. But their dance is to I can't even remember what song it was, but you guys let me know what song it was. I didn't know who was getting eliminated until I like stayed offline. I did not get spoiled until the way end. I have to be honest, it didn't stand out to me, the dance, at all. And the judges, it didn't stand out to them either. Let me just get through the rest of the dances and then I'll give you my thoughts. I am so obsessed with Alex and Val, and the more that they are on the show, the better they're getting. I may like Alex maybe now. I think it's Whitney and Robert at the top and Alex right third. And it wasn't that way for me at the beginning, but now I am, look at what you made me do, Taylor Swift. Thank you, because she's dead. I am so obsessed I love Alex. And I think she's so gorgeous. I didn't used to feel that way about Alex Earl. I thought she was just like sweet, pretty. I kind of can't get my eyes off her now. So now I'm obsessed. So I really hope they go real far. And I think that would be a really crazy upset if maybe Alex upset Whitney at the end. Because I think Alex and Whitney are kind of like, they may be having competing voting audiences, if you guys agree with me. Dylan, this is Dylan and Efron and Danny doing their dance. There's something about him that just is like lacking. That's how I feel. Sorry. Then we had the dance-a-thon, this crazy dance-a-thon. And Whitney and Mark won it. And I didn't think that they deserved it. I thought Alex and Val deserved it. That's my thought. It was wild to watch. You guys can watch it again. And then here's all the dances. Okay. At the end of the show, we had Jen and Jan get sent home. Now, here is where the drama starts. The audience is pissed at the judges. I have not seen this kind of audience reaction in a long time. Jen was, according to Jen's fans, the audience feels, Jen's fans, they feel that Jen has been completely unfairly judged the entire season. They feel like she has been given low scores. They feel like she has been given unfair criticism. They feel like she has not been treated well. They feel like she has been treated with harsh, critiques, and they're not happy. I'm curious if you guys have been watching the show. Do you feel the same way? My friend Morgan, who is a podcaster, Morgan P. Talks, Morgan's Pop Talks, she talked about it today. I love Morgan, by the way, and she's a big fan of the show as well. She talked about it today. Why don't you guys watch what she has to say about it?
Judged too harshly. She was a victim to this new Dancing with the Stars scoring style. The judges' refusal to score any dance below a 5 or a 4 early in the season has led to this moment, because Jen's dance got all 8s, and people in the comment section are like, oh, they're being way too harsh on her. She's improving, which she was. But Whitney's dance got 9s, and Robert Irwin's Wicked dance got 9s. Jen's contemporary, in my opinion, was not equivalent to Robert Irwin's Wicked dance. And because they gave Andy 7s, that did not leave anywhere else for Jen to go. If Andy is arguably the worst dance of the night and he gets a 7, and then some of the best dances of the night get a 9, Jen, middle of the pack, has to get an 8. So it's like, what do you do? Do you go back to the original Dancing with the Stars scoring system where everybody's on an even playing field, people get 1s, 2s, and 3s, or do you judge an individual dancer on their individual growth and what you think their best could be? But to be honest, in the new era of Dancing with the Stars, the judges' scores, they don't even really matter. I mean, it always comes down to the fan vote anyways, a la Andy Richter. Jen Affleck was not judged too harshly. She was a victim to this new Dancing with the Stars.
So at the end of the day, they weigh, apparently, we don't know if this is exactly true, but they weigh a mix of the judges' votes and the audience votes. And Andy Richter, who 100% is not the best dancer, not even close, not even near the lowest dancer ability, keeps edging his way through. But why? And here's my take, and I stand by it. Likability. Because Jen Affleck, and I say this with love, has not come off likable on the show. And you can come after me if you want. And it's not her fault, maybe, but as an audience member and a viewer who doesn't think about if you don't watch Mormon Wives and you have no idea who she is and you've never watched her at all and you're just coming into the show. Because if you watch Mormon Wives, you're splitting your audience between Whitney Levitt and Jen Affleck. These are two girls who are on the same show. So now you're splitting your votes. Okay? And if you're a Mormon Wives fan, you're going to only be able to vote 10 times. You're going to vote for your favorite dancer. It's probably going to be Whitney Levitt. Let's be real. So now you're trying to capture votes from people who you don't know. And if you're going to go off people who you don't know, you're going to try to win the hearts of America. And if you're trying to win the hearts of America, you have to try to be likable. And just being honest, coming from my former casting director side of reading energy and reading likability, Jen Affleck started off really strong. She talked about being a mom. She talked about being postpartum. Her first episode, like, I wanted to cry for her. But every episode after, and I get it, she was sick. Jan was sick. Max came after Jan. Maxim, the dancer, on his podcast said, like, he shouldn't be a choreographer. He's not good enough to teach, da, 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 da. But it showed on Jen's face, like she didn't know how to fake it. When she got her 8s yesterday, when Jordan Childs got her 8s in the scoring, she was like, woo! When Jen got her 8s, she was like, it was as if she got a 2. She didn't fake it well. The audience sees right through that. She's showing, like, I felt as an audience member, even if I never talked to Lance once, and by the way, Lance never even told me anything because I don't think Lance ever got to know Jen, not even a little bit behind the scenes. In fact, I don't think they ever even had one conversation, which is interesting. So it's not like he was privy to any information about her personality or anything. It was just my feeling. She was not, like, maybe she just wasn't mentally ready to be on that show. Maybe she just wasn't emotionally ready to be on the show. And I feel bad for her because it's a tough thing when you just have a baby. It's a challenge thing when you're just 3 babies and she just had a baby 6 weeks before the show started. So I think that it's a very, very, very tough moment for her, but the audience felt it. And they just didn't have anything to grab onto. It was like forgettable for them. Interesting. Amanda said Jen isn't allowed to talk to people. I feel like I'm telling you, her husband is ick. So that's another story. We all know, if you watch the show, you know that her husband is really controlling and really jealous. And that was in season 1. And season 2, they tried to make him out to be like this total different guy. And on social media, he acts really, his name is Zach. He acts really like comfortable and like, I'm cool with Jen and I support her and I love her dancing with Jan and everything he does is fine. But we already saw the truth. And once you see the truth of what a relationship is like behind the scenes, it's like, it's kind of hard to erase that. We can all pretend to be a certain way on social media, but we all know exactly what's going on behind the scenes. We've seen it. And so the second she got cut yesterday, they panned over to Zach, and Zach was in his head like, oh, like crying hysterically, which made me feel bad, but not for Jen. Like, not for Zach. It made me feel bad for Jen because I almost feel like Zach will be angry with Jen or something. It was weird. It didn't make me feel sad that Jen got eliminated. It made me feel like Zach will be mad at Jen or something. There was something weird about that. Now, Andy is still in the show, and that is great because he is the emotional side. He's not going to win the show. I think next he gets eliminated. Then I think it's going to be Danielle. In my heart, I think it's going to be Danielle, and then it's going to be Elaine, is my guess. And then we'll see. All right. Meanwhile, Molly just sent me a video from TikTok, and this is wild. Let me show it to you guys. It was Jen and Jan going live this morning on TikTok and opening up about who she's going to be rooting for now. And wow, if this is not interesting, because clearly there's some drama between her and Whitney. And I don't know if this is just a tease for the next season of Mormon Wives, which we'll all be watching, but this is pretty fascinating.
And I would be rooting for a former Mom Talk person, but we won't get into it because you'll have to wait for season 3. Okay, we'll end this live now.
Oh, I'm out of this chat. Too much drama, please. Too much drama. Okay, let's say bye. God damn it.
Just kidding. Okay, love you guys.
Just kidding. The drama is real. The drama is real. See that you see personality in her on social media, which is why it's so confusing, because when she's on the show, you don't really see personality. Okay, let's move on to our next story. Andy Cohen was on Call Her Daddy, and you guys, I'm about to shock you. Are you ready for this? Are you ready for it? Burr. I liked it. You know I haven't loved Andy that much in the last year or so. But Andy Cohen was so likable on this episode of Call Her Daddy. I was loving every second of it. And now I'm starting to question everything, because why is Alex Cooper making me like all these people? Who here has watched it? I found it so revealing. I found it so likable. I all of a sudden have found myself an Andy Cohen fan. What's the deal? What's the dealio? Okay, a lot of people think that it's because Alex Cooper herself is not that likable, so that all of her guests are likable. But I think it's because he is not in the question seat and he's in the answer seat, and he's just open and honest. I found him to be so, oh my God, stop. I found him to be so just real and like open. He was like, it was almost like he didn't feel the need to hide, didn't feel the need to, hold back and pretend to be anyone that he wasn't. He was like, I'm stoked to be here. I'm really excited to be here. And he just shared really openly. Here's just like a little clip from her Instagram from the show.
A Call Her Daddy game. It's called Confess or Text. How much money did you make last year?
Oh my God. Oh my God.
You're
I have to text someone. Are you fucking kidding me? There's no way I'm answering that. Lisa Vanderpump. We're going to shake up the Beverly Hills cast. Who do you think I should cut next season? What's it going to take to get you back on Housewives? I think I'll text her. Well, she's going to say Kyle.
She'll say cut Kyle.
She'll say cut Kyle. Shaking up BH cast. Who should we part with?
Look at the smirk on your fucking face.
She'll probably say goodbye, Kyle.
What public relationship do you think is purely PR?
Oh, wow. Okay. I suspected that Amaya Papaya and her guy, even before the reunion, I was like, I went into that feeling a little like, are they on or off? I don't know if I would say it was fake, but I was wondering if it either had legs or it was still going.
Okay, what really went down between Brandy Glanville and Caroline Manzo?
You know what? If it were up to me, you would be seeing the entire thing. You know what? Some things happen at Bravo. There are situations where it's in the network's hands and not me. I'm a free agent and I am a executive producer of all of the Housewives shows, but certainly not the last word.
What work have you had done?
I've had no work done. I started just, I think this year, to get a teeny bit of Botox in my forehead. I've had it done twice.
You've got movement.
Yeah. But
Great.
that is it. I've had nothing done.
Which housewife's firing caused the most behind the scenes chaos?
I would say when we totally revamped Roni. And I would also say when we let go of, at the end of season 4, Roni, when we let go of Jill, Alex, Kelly, Cindy Barshop. I think that was kind of a big thing.
Have you ever slept with a member of the Bravo universe?
No. There have been a couple that I would, that in my mind, I've thought, like, well, no, that would be interesting. But yeah, I think that would probably, especially at this point, be unwise. Okay, I have a response from Lisa Vanderpump. I said, shaking up BH cast, who should we part ways with? She said, all of them.
Now we're going to play a Call Her Daddy game. It's called Confess.
Okay, a couple things. Number one, welcome, Jesse. I got a chat here saying, Jesse, this is my first live. Been following you forever. Love you, Donna. Well, I love you, Jesse. Thank you for being here. And yes, if you guys are, breaking your virginity, breaking your chair. What do you say with the virginity? I never remember what you say when you lose your virginity on a Daily Dose of Donna episode. You always have to let me know in the chat so I can embarrass you and call your mom. So we with Andy, so the part of the show that I really liked, which is not in that clip, he goes into his whole story of how he started in the industry. And as someone that really admires anyone in the behind the scenes world of this industry, just because I used to work in the behind the scenes world and I love hearing stories of that, I really admired his journey. I remember kind of seeing him for the first time doing some on-camera work and seeing how awkward he was and strange he was and like uncomfortable as he was at the very, very beginning. So I like hearing all of that. He's very self-aware. He is very down to earth, believe it or not. He understands. Now, someone said in the comments, Donna, Andy needs to fix his janky eye. He talks about it. He's like, people have given me shit about my crossed eyes from the first time I've ever been on TV. In fact, he says that his first boss ever when he was an intern at CBS told him, you'll never be on TV because of your crossed eye. And Alex Cooper says, I can't believe that people used to talk to you about that or say those things to you. And he said, that's literally how people used to talk to people all the time in this industry. And I don't hate it. It made people stronger. It almost toughened you up. I wish almost that it was okay to still do that sometimes. And then I remembered when I first started in the industry, how I used to get talked to by my bosses. It was totally normal. Oh my God, one of my bosses sent me home because he didn't like the way I did my hair in casting. My casting director boss, I wasn't even on camera. I was behind the camera filming the auditions and he didn't like my hair and he sent me home. So this is like a very normal situation back, even that was even in the 2000s. That wasn't even that long ago. But he talks about how he, started at Boston University and he was in the communications major and he didn't join a fraternity because he was closeted gay and he wanted to be able to kind of like, F around behind the scenes. He talks about how he came out to his mom and what she said to him, which is the best story or the best line ever. She said, I probably would have hated your wife anyway, which is the best thing ever because he came out to her when he was, I guess, in college or later. He was much older. And then he said, it was actually sweet. She said, the one thing I am is, because this is in the late 80s. She said, the one thing I am is that I'm mourning. I do mourn the life I had, the dream of the life I had for you and I, which was that you're going to get married and be able to have kids so that I'll be able to be a grandparent because Andy's an only child. As far as I know, I'm pretty sure. And Andy's like, don't worry, Mom, I'll be able to do that. But he said at the time, I never thought it was actually going to be possible. And now he's a dad. And it gave me like good vibes, like good feelings. I don't know. It made me feel good. Then he said that when he first got a job, he was working under Barry Diller, who's like a very big executive. He just wrote a book. He's a big, behind the scenes executive. And there was a job out there to work either at Bravo or to be as the CEO of current programming or the director of current programming, which ended up being his job, or to run a new network for gay programming called Logo. And this was probably in the 2000s or something. I don't even know what year this was. And he went out, he was like, I need to get that Logo job. I'm gay. Like, I am the most gay guy. I have to get that Logo job. So he fought so hard to get the job for Logo. And when he didn't get the job at Logo, he was devastated. He was like, this is insane. I am the most qualified person for that job at Logo. It was a huge position. It was the higher up position. It would have been the biggest job ever. I can't believe I didn't get it. I'm so pissed. And he said, because I got that no, because I didn't get that job is why I'm here calling you daddy. And that shit is the best. Those stories make me so happy because how many of us need to hear the no story to make us feel better about anything else? Whenever you get a no, just know that is the best thing for you. No matter if it's a breakup, a rejection. What do they always say? Rejection is God's protection. It's like anytime you don't get the job, anytime you get you break up with a boyfriend or a girlfriend, anytime you lose a friend, anytime you end a life chapter or anything, just know it's pointing you in the right direction to something else. He said, had I gotten that job at Logo, I probably wouldn't have ever ended up on camera a year later doing, bravo.com little TV things, which ended up being the first episode of Watch What Happens Live down the line. It's kind of pretty cool. Yeah, divorce, etc. I love the story. It just made me really like him. I got to know, and I've heard him tell his story because I've read his books before, but I really liked the episode. So go and listen to it if you're on the fence of Andy. I think the thing I don't like about Andy so much in recent years, because people are like, I don't get why you think he's polarizing. He politicizes everything, which is annoying to watch What Happens Live when it becomes a big political story all the time. He sometimes gets a little bit kind of creepy sometimes. Oh, he did play a she played a Mary F. Kill with him. And she said Howard Stern, Craig Conover, and Tom Sandoval. He said because of HR issues, and he still works with Craig Conover, he's going to marry Howard Stern. He's going to basically shag Tom Sandoval. Believe it or not, he said Tom Sandoval is one of the prettiest men he's ever seen. Could you die? And then he's going to kill Craig Conover. Poor Craig. Craig's out. He's done. He's out. So there's that. Anyway, I thought it was great. Okay, let's see what other stories we can talk about today. Should I talk about my blowback from Britney and from Lauren Mathias? Okay, let's talk about that really quickly because I got to get out of here soon. Okay, Britney Spears and Lauren Mathias blowback. First of all, Britney Spears. Yesterday, I gathered the strength from my friend Andy Signor and went on his show to talk about Britney Spears. Oh my God. Did I know I was walking into the lion's den? It was wild. Now listen. I am not out to attack Britney Spears in any way. In any way. But I didn't realize that you're not allowed to have an opinion about Britney Spears other than leave her alone. 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 Like that's how I think some people want to deal with Britney. And I think that when it comes to the the Britney audience, it feels very, and I understand now, I sympathize a little bit with what Kevin Federline was saying in his book, which is like his boys don't want to say anything because they get vilified immediately by her audience. And they get attacked by her audience if they say anything that's a little bit protective over her or maybe negative about her. And I get that because I wasn't even saying anything negative about her, but the audience was coming at me. She sounds like she's a Britney hater. She hates Britney. She's not supportive of Britney. Why is she blaming everything on Britney? So many people, I think, want to just stay far, far away from even talking about it. It's not worth it. Like, I did get a lot of Twitter people coming over to Twitter or X coming at me in the mentions saying, how dare you? Why aren't you focusing on people that are, have mental issues like homeless people? Why are we focusing on Britney? What? Like, what? I don't truly know how to reason with these kinds of conversations. Like, I just don't. Britney Spears is a public figure. To not talk about her and leave her alone is like to pretend that, that's crazy making, because we're all talking about her. She's in the news. So I think to not talk about people that are truly, they look like they're struggling and they're putting them out there themselves struggling, I think that is actually not right. If you are someone that claims that you care about someone, if you don't care about her, then you would not talk about her. If you care about her, wouldn't you want her to be healthy? But then there's people out there that say, but she's not bothering anyone. She seems fine. She seems happy. Okay. Okay. Some comments. Britney has stans, including me. I'm not saying she's an angel, but she has been screwed over by the people who are supposed to love her the most. Absolutely. Absolutely. But let me ask you a question. When you see someone that you think is spiraling in a negative way, do you just leave it be? Or do you feel she needs assistance? And if they're a public figure, do you just not say anything at all? Because that's best. Just be quiet. Do you think Britney would be happier if posting on her Instagram for 43 million people, if not one person ever talked about her ever again? Do you think you post for 43 million people because you don't want anyone to talk about you? Those are the things that I'm confused about. Mom Unscripted says, why do they say leave her alone? Then they die and everyone will say someone should have helped her. Exactly. Like, when you see someone that is clearly in the middle of, and if you can honestly look at Britney Spears' behavior and say she seems completely healthy, completely fine, everything's fine, leave her alone. She's not bothering you. Okay. Cool. I feel for her boys. I don't think they have the best guidance. I don't think Britney had the best guidance either, and it's a cycle. All can be true. This is heartbreaking, and she's going to be one of those people who dies in her house and they find her body like months later. It's so sad. God forbid. God forbid. Let's hope that's not the case. Stans do the same with Taylor Swift, Selena Gomez, and Beyonce. They have some unhinged stans. I'm a Britney fan, but I'm not illogical. Well, see, that's the difference. Like, to be a fan means to care about someone's well-being. You don't want to be a fan where you're in denial over reality. But I guess part of being like a stan is to be in some sense of like not being able to see rational thought. And I don't want to call out those people because then of course they're going to think I'm crazy and mean. That happens in politics too, right? Like, that happens with everything. That happens with world issues. It happens with anything. And that's especially happening online right now. There's no nuance. There's no there's no two truths can be held. I care about Britney. I care about her, but I also think that someone needs to step in and care about her, in her life. No two truths can be held. Did Andy release the third part yet? He's releasing it in 1 hour. So tomorrow we will do a tomorrow we'll do a third, like a recap of the third part of Sam Letfy. How about that? I really I don't like, I'm not out in any way, by the way, in any way am I out to pile on to Britney. That's the last thing I'd ever want to do. Christina says, you never said you didn't support her. You also want the best for her. Exactly. And if people want to, come for me and think that, then I just think that they just want to come for me. Or, you know what I mean? Like, some people are just out for blood. That's not me. Amanda says, I watched Perez Hilton. He says another conservatorship is coming. Really? Now, Britney called out Perez in a really positive way the other day on her ex. So I wonder if they actually are in communication. I'd be curious if Perez speaks with Britney. How would he know? I wonder, can you tell me, Amanda, what else he said about it? It's so hard because I do have family members who struggle with mental health, but she has to want to get better for herself. It's so hard. But when you struggle with mental health, and I don't speak for myself because I luckily, knock on wood, have not had a struggle like this. And no one in my actually people in my immediate family have struggled with mental health, but not like this. But I always just go back, and I didn't want to say this on Andy's show yesterday, but I think about the Kelly Wolf story that we were covering so hard here on the show. And when Kelly Wolf was going through like the height of her struggles just a couple months ago and was posting about it every day, you guys, do you think Kelly Wolf was able in her mind to recognize that she needed help on her own? I think that I think Kelly Wolf needed someone else to step in. Because when you are in that kind of place, I don't think that you're capable of doing it for yourself, is just my feeling from speaking to mental health professionals. But that's just my feeling, you know? Amanda says, do you think she's on something or she's just mentally not okay? I can't tell you. I don't know. Okay. Liz says, no, Kelly did not realize that her words were meaningless. We had to judge her by the super frequency and flavorful of her erratic posts. Okay, let's move on. Lauren Mathias. So I did post about Lauren Mathias on TikTok and on Instagram yesterday. I finally just posted a little short about that. Wow. So the response on TikTok was interesting. I definitely feel like she has her people out there. This is the hidden true crime girl. She still has not posted, as far as I know, she has not posted since she posted a 3.5-hour video with her husband. Their response video that they posted on 4 days ago is the last time that they posted. And it was kind of like, this was the video that they posted on Sunday, I think it was. The two of them, as far as I know, have not spoken about anything specific since then. The comments are very interesting. Not necessarily her comments, but the comments that I got and am getting just even talking about it. People are very, very clearly sent from one camp or another. I don't say sent. I don't think they're sent from anywhere. But people are either incredibly on one end, like, how dare you come after Lauren? She is a nice woman. She never, ever deserved any of this. This is so wild. Or they're coming after, like, Lauren is a mean girl. She has a lot coming for her. Like, she has been doing this for a long time to other women, and she is definitely, this is her final, thing happening. And it's going to happen to her. Like, it's all coming out soon in just a moment or whatever. Like, her mean girl behavior is going to come out. So it's very, very interesting what's going to happen in terms of both of them. I don't know exactly where it's going to go, what kind of receipts are coming out, if it's going to happen at all. But I think that there will be some other stuff, some more information that will still come out in terms of this case. I'm not reporting on it until there's actual information. I just find it wild how divided the world is in the audience, There is there is, of course, on Reddit, as you guys know, Reddit is the wildest place, but of course there's a Reddit page that's kind of dedicated to this, and people are all kind of talking about this and having conversations about everything. So we will continue to talk about it when we can, but I don't think there's anything really that new to have conversations about at this moment. Does that make sense? Okay. Now, the final story, really quickly before I leave, I thought you guys would find fascinating and interesting. And it's about an influencer, Danielle Bernstein. She is the owner, the creator of a company called We Wore What. If you've heard of it, it's been around for a long time. And she's been around for a long time too, as well, because, the company's been around forever. But she has had a difficult time kind of over the years because, as you know, these companies, these fashion influencers, they get themselves in a little bit of hot water over the years. People like to dog on influencers. They like to talk shit. They like to snark on them. This is just kind of how it works. But this Danielle Bernstein has recently come under fire after a social media commentator claimed she appeared to take inspiration from another social media user for her engagement party speech. So she is behind the popular fashion blog and brand called We Wore What. And if you're part of, again, Reddit, called New York City Influencer Snark, which I used to follow just for fun to see if I would find anything interesting that I could talk about, but I don't know half these influencers, so it became boring for me and I didn't understand what I was following ever. But this was an incredibly interesting story for so many people. People were so fascinated by We Wore What. There was so much snark about it. People just wanted to talk about her all the time, about her company and about how she was running it and about how she was doing it and about all the drama and about everything like that. There was it was her and Something Navy, Ariel Charnas. There was always drama around her brand. But she literally, whether it was drama about her copying other people's brands, her drama around her relationships, her drama about her friendships, just constantly. And then, of course, she just had this one. I'm going to show you guys exactly. Hold on. This TikTok that came out, and I thought this was just some fun little chatter. Hold on. Be or Bay. Hold on. Let me pull it up for you guys, and then you can watch it yourself. And I'm curious if you guys ever would think to do this yourself, to take a video of your own or to take a ChatGPT basically, or a TikTok that you see and then make your own speech out of it. I think this is quite interesting. Basically, a TikToker, Be or Bay, she has 1,000 followers. She's really not a big name at all, but she found this speech and she called her out for copying someone's wedding speech. And of course, my internet, shuts down exactly. This is probably Blake Lively's fault, if anything, right? As it loads.
I left my first ever hate comment, and it was towards Danielle Bernstein, the We Wore What girl. It obviously got deleted within minutes. And I just want to talk about it for a second because I haven't seen anything about it online. Her speech she gave at her engagement party is nearly identical to a speech a girl on TikTok gave at her wedding. The only reason I noticed is because I saw the first girl's video like the day prior. And I was like, wait, this sounds awfully familiar. So I clipped them back to back to back, which I'll show you at the end. It's not illegal. It's not illegal, but it is funny because she constantly gets accused of stealing from small creators. And it kind of checks out that she would steal a wedding speech as well and use it as like a blueprint. I don't get her, and I know it might be a stretch. And if it is a stretch, totally fine. Forgive me, please, but it is funny.
All of the decisions that go into planning a wedding, there are so many like little tiny decisions. So many hard decisions with this venue and all the things that went into what we see tonight. And really the most easy decision, and the one outside of marrying this man next to me, was who we wanted here on this very special day. The easiest decision of all besides the man I stand next to and saying yes to him was who we wanted to have here to celebrate us. I love you all. We love you all. And you are so a part of our story. I love each and every one of you so much. I'm so grateful that you're such a big part of our story.
I left my first ever hate comment. And
I just find it so fascinating that you go onto TikTok and you see someone's wedding speech and you're like, wow, this one went viral. It made me a little teary. It's so beautiful. Let me write that shit down. Let me insert my husband's name in it. Let me insert my friend's name in it. And let me read this out loud. This is a beautiful speech. And the fact that she's always been, accused of copying small creators, whether it's for her content, for her clothes, for her ideas, for everything. She's like, it's in the bag, baby. Let me just do it. It's so funny. It's so typical. And of course, people are really loving it. They're saying it's not illegal, but it's so weird. Why would anyone copy a random person's speech for their own wedding? And someone said either they both Googled good bride speech and got the same idea, or one of them just copied the other. But I think it's kind of funny. So if you guys do end up getting married, just make sure not to do that. Just make sure to, come up with your own video and your own speech. And I'll leave you with this one episode. This one little story, and it's about Cheryl Hines. And this will be a little spicy right before I leave. I forgot to talk about it a little earlier. So this is an article on Daily Mail, which you know Daily Mail. Cheryl Hines, this is what it says. Cheryl Hines, and I listened to her, she's doing her media circuit. She just wrote a book. She's obviously married to RFK. It says Cheryl Hines' woke Hollywood friends turn on her, slamming unrecognizable MAGA transformation beyond comprehension, they're saying. Now, Cheryl Hines, if you guys know, she played Larry David's wife on Curb Your Enthusiasm for years. She was an actress. She is an actress. And meanwhile, she's married to RFK Jr., and she's been married now for a few years and is a huge member of, he's a member of Donald Trump's cabinet, as you guys know, and she's his wife. So she's obviously part of that world, and she's, prominent in that space now. I have to be 100% honest. I don't follow her. I didn't follow her back in the day. I have no idea what her politics used to be. I don't really follow her now. I'm not just being 100% honest, I'm not like an RFK follower. I don't follow his thing. That's not who I am obsessed with in any capacity. So I don't know what, I'm not doing that. But the idea of the article and how everyone turned on her is definitely, that would make sense, right? It would make sense for Hollywood and being turning on people for their beliefs. Now, Enrique says Daily Dose of Daily Mail should be the name of the show. It really should. They should pay me. Susan says she was a good interview on Billy Bush. And that's actually why I bring this up, is because I was driving to go pick up my kids the other day, and I was in the car, and his show airs at 2 p.m. Pacific time. And so I just turned it on and I was listening to it on YouTube when I was driving to school, and she was on the show. And I have to be 100% honest. I'm going to keep it real. I'm going to keep it real here. I found her to be a little bit I'm going to keep it real. Don't hate me. Okay? I found her to be a little bit unlikable. Don't hate me. I don't know what it was about her. And I kept thinking, like, I felt bad for Billy almost in the interview. I kept thinking, like, is Billy like struggling right now? He could not, like, I couldn't get the warmth out of her. And I don't know if she used to be warmer. And I couldn't get it out of her. And I almost ended up I actually ended up turning off the interview because it made me feel so uncomfy. Like I said, I don't follow her regularly. So I'm not like, yay, Cheryl, I'm so excited that you're on the show. It was an awful interview. Thank you. Okay. You guys agree with me a little bit? It's like Billy is so friendly. You know, I love Billy Bush. He's so friendly, so warm, so easy to talk to. Like, he's trying to make light. He read her book. It was so clear. He was even asking her at the very beginning of the article. He was like, of the interview, he was like, does it bother you when people don't read your book? And she was like, yeah, it bothers me. And he's like, I read every single moment of this interview. I loved this interview. And she goes, oh, I read every single moment of this book. I love this book. And she goes, good, okay. And he's asking her moments of the book, and she's like, good, okay. One word answers. I'm like pulling my hair out for him. It killed me listening to it. She felt like she was almost in a bad mood or something. It was not doing it for me. I didn't vibe. I didn't get it. He was trying so hard to get some good info about like Herb and about Larry and about the energy and about how the fact that like Larry and her do not get along. Look, I mean, Larry is as liberal as you can get to a ridiculous level to some, right? It's like we've got extremes here. So now you got Larry, who's an extreme liberal, and now you got Cheryl, whose husband is working with Donald Trump. Obviously, they're not going to be able to be friends. Is that shocking to anyone? That doesn't shock me for even a second. It's too triggering. Politics are too triggering for people. And it doesn't this is not shocking to me at all. This article, though, is so weird because they're like, friends who've known Hines for years have seen a dramatic transformation. I love how they're pointing it on her. A dramatic transformation since she's become a member of the Donald Trump's cabinet, you know? They don't even recognize her because she was so liberal before, and now she's married and she's completely a changed person. Well, I don't know exactly. Like I said, I didn't know her politics before. I have zero idea what her politics were like before. I can't stand up or not stand up for this guy because I don't know that much about them. I just am being honest with you guys. And I know that this is going to upset people because I do know that a lot of people in my audience probably really like him or really don't like him. So I don't know. I can't speak. I'm just speaking for her. I don't know her politics from before. I imagine that she had to pretend to be liberal if she worked in Hollywood. Like, no question. She probably had to pretend to be super, super liberal if she worked with Larry David. So maybe they thought she was crazy liberal and she just had to kind of hide it. But we all know that, there's a lot of fake people in Hollywood and whatever. But regardless, this article is so funny. She's changed. She's a different person now. We've all changed. Everyone's changed. How many people have changed who they are politically in the last 10 years? In the last 5 years? Everyone's changed. Everyone has changed. Like, truly. But I do think, listening to that interview, that was a toughie. I got to send Billy some love. Poor Billy. But I do think that that politics have really shifted so many friendships in the last few years. There's no question on both ends. That's what she said, on both ends. Everyone has become so angry. Everyone has become so like on both sides. And I think everyone has shifted. There's so many people that I speak to that were so like I would say that most of my friends that were hardcore left are no longer hardcore left. It's pushed so many people that were hardcore left, I think, more to the middle. I have so many more friends like me that find ourselves way more moderate than we're on the left. Actually, one of my very close friends who is insanely liberal, insanely liberal, like hardcore liberal, like the most liberal person I know, says just this week to me in a text, I don't recognize the Democratic Party. And I feel like people in my life that are hardcore conservatives are so disgusted with some of the people on the right. Like, I feel like no one knows where they are anymore. So, of course, everyone's changing because the world is changing. So, that makes sense to me, you know? Um, whoa, Drea says I might be a bit salty too. Oh, after being treated poorly at the View. I thought you were on the View. I was like, tell us your story. Yeah, she did have a weird experience at the View. But who doesn't have a weird experience at the View? Come on. Walk into the room at the View and you'll have a weird experience. Anyway, it's all funky. It's all so funky. I would say we should all join a political party called the Doser Party. Okay? I'm the party of candy, true crime, reality TV, Craig Conover, and a little Blake Lively snark. And justice for Justin, Eugene, and Kristen Bell. Justice for I'm standing. The Doser Party stands for Justice for Eugene. Who's running with me? Who's joining my party? Okay? The Dosers Party is Justice for Eugene. We're right in the middle. We believe in women's rights. We believe in gay rights. We believe in all of loving people for who they are inside. Okay? Can we do it? It's not that hard. Join my party. Join it. We're fun over here. All right, you guys. Have an amazing day. I'll see you on the flip side. Bye.